Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk WireShark here on YouTube. Last time we talked about a standard NMAP scan. We did it like this, and we just wrote NMAP and then basically the IP address. Today we're gonna do something more with this. So we're gonna restrict some ports and we're gonna do some flags called version scanning. So we're gonna add on a small s capitalized V for version, and we're gonna do a port of 80. We're gonna do this and that. Anyway, so we're just gonna scan port 80 just to keep the traffic very simple. So I'm gonna go back here on my WireShark, press record one more time. By the way, just for you to notice that I have my attack machine on 130 and the web servers on 128. So let's go ahead and start the scan here, and I'm gonna press scan, receive some traffic. It's still running here on my other machine and it's done. So I'm gonna close the record and let's go back to the window here. So what we got as a result was expected. I have web server open. This time we did actually manage to get a banner from it. So it was a Apache HTTPD server version 2.4.48. In the prior scan, with just NMAP for the most common used 1000 ports, we only got to the knowledge if this is an HTTP service, and we had no real way to verify whether it was an HTTP service or not. It is just what port 80 is commonly used for, but it could be another service, which is why the S and capitalized V flag for versions is very good to have in your nmap command. What we also got is we didn't really get anything else. That's it. Only one port. I forgot about that. So we have one port and it's an Apache server. So let's go back here to the traffic and let's talk about this traffic. Now, as we suspect, the very first connection, just like before, was a synchronization TCP package for port 80 and also a synchronization TCP packet for port 443, which is HTTPS. The HTTPS is going to be reset acknowledged here by the web server, and sent to the attacker, because there is no open port in 443. We don't have any HTTPS installed, so we basically only have port 80. Okay, so we get the SYN and the SYN-ACK, and we do have the ACK. So, the SYN, the SYN-ACK, and the ACK. There we go. And those are generating the three-way handshake. One more time, we are generating a SYN-ACK, and then an ACK, and then a reset. So we are acknowledging that the port is really open. Then we are going through a request, a HTTP request. But before we do that, we need the SYN, the SYN-ACK, and of course the ACK. So once more, we are connecting to the machine. Now this may look a bit counterintuitive, but the first bunch of packets is for the actual scanning of the port. Is it open or is it not open? After that, we do standard HTTP request, and what that really requires is an open, active TCP connection, and that is what we see here. So this is exactly what we expect. Then we get the first HTTP, and I really want to look at what's inside of this now, because we have a actual GET request from the HTTP protocol, and if we click on this, we can see down here in the second window of WireShark that we have something called the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is holding some secrets we're going to look at right now. So let's open it. There we go. Now, what we see here is basically a HTTP request, and when we open up everything, we kind of think the same thing. I think it's like, what is this weird This request seems like it's the most simple form ever, and it is. There is no user agent. There is nothing going on. It is just a very plain HTTP 1.0. It's like, okay, that is really old. But you know, this is how WireShark is looking like when you record. At least when you record this. Oh, now it's on the top anymore. Very irritating. So at least the way we did it before with the dash S capitalized V flag. So that is how it looks like. Okay, so let's try and continue a bit. So first suspicious package. Then we have an ACK here and some more fins and ACKs and stuff like that. Now I want to say that before going to that, we are having a HTTP 1.1 200 OK. That is the server that responds back to the attacker, because the server really want to communicate in the newest version of the HTTP protocol, which is 1.1. And what is being sent back is, from what you can see here, something called, let me just close this top here, line-based data, 15 lines, and you basically just see this. This is the front page of my what's it called, the web server. It looks like this. This is what we see. So if you just recognize the text, Apache 2.4.8, Debian, blah blah blah. I'm gonna go back. You see the same stuff here, Apache to Debian. So this is just the HTML being sent directly to me. Now, if we look at the data from the server, which is not really that relevant because it's just a response to the request, it looks very normal. It looks like Apache stuff, you know, and with the constant length and everything. But what we do see is that there is some sort of connection-orientated data transfer going on here. So we can see that it kind of tells us that the TCP protocol with the SYN ACK and the ACK, then it gets the HTTP request. You can see the arrows to follow them on WireShark. These two is bound together with the request and response, and then you can see the packages here you get. That is the data being sent back and forth. Some of them is closing the connection, so there is a fin ACK, so we are saying that connection is done. So that's really it. Furthermore, we can see down here that some more data is being sent, and this doesn't really say much because we do see stuff like the sense in ACK and all that, but what is interesting for us to look for in the scan is the GET request one more time from the attacker, and this time it looks exactly the same as before. And we also get a, let me see, where is the response? It is right here. A response back with exactly the same text as just before. So it's a duplicate response. However, the next GET request we get is very different from the one we had before. This is a HTTP 1.1 GET request with some bogus text. So we're going to open this and check it out. We can see that there is not much going on here. We do have request version with a URI, and we do have a user agent this time. But what you really see is that it does say NMAP scripting engine. This is something you can look for. For example, if you're having some intrusion detection or whatever you have, intrusion prevention systems, you can look for the NMAP scripting engine keywords and then just block or drop the traffic. Now, I have videos about Snort. I don't exactly remember how deep I go with it, but Snort is an IDS and IPS, intrusion detection and prevention system. We can write some rules to detect these kind of things pretty easy. So this does give us up a bit. Okay, so furthermore, you can see that there's a post request system. And the post request is also getting a response back, not found. And this one here is also getting a response back, not found. Now, the thing is that we're not really creating these URLs to get a response. It is, well, we do get a response, but not with data. But we do get some server information here. Now, if you remove these banners on the Apache server, NMAP could not fetch it from the response, at least. So that is a way to remove it. You can see down here that there are some more things going on. You got some data transfer and stuff like that, and some acknowledgement packages, and really that's it. There's nothing much going on. We also get some more GET requests, and yeah, you know, it's just also actually making a HTTP 1.1 GET request just to make sure that we got all the necessary responses back from the server we could get. There is no particular, we should just say and HTTP just to fill that all out to see all the HTTP requests. So what we see here is just some different requests from the protocol of 1.0 and 1.1 from the HTTP. There are some different, you know, words, doesn't really do anything, but we get responses back, and it doesn't really matter what we get. We can right click here and say follow, for example, HTTP stream, and see that what we got here is basically just the GET request, and then you get the fall for not found because this doesn't exist on my web server, and we also get this back, and this is gonna, you know, already here in the server part we can verify what is the server. So the way NMAP is trying to determine which version of something is by grabbing this banner, or we can call it, you know, an header information. Doesn't really matter what you call it. The information is there. It is easy to get, and this is the way it's being done. There is nothing oddly going on. It's all very normal. It's just traffic. Yeah. So I really hope you liked this video, and if you did so, please consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment below, let me know whether you're out there and you watched the video. If any comments or whatever thoughts to my videos, please leave them in the comment below. That's the best way to reach to me, and I react really fast. You know, as long as I don't have a huge subscriber base, I'm able to actually connect with most of you really fast, which I really like. But at some point more people will subscribe, and then of course it will be difficult for me to reach out as fast as I'm doing now. Thanks for watching my video. Have a great day.